This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Cassells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes. Now this is AI, because Chris is all about the AI.
Okay.
Isn't it rich? Calculators in hand, glasses so thick. A D&D clan, where are the nerds? Send in the nerds. Pocket protectors, Star Wars tattoos, coding in basements, way past the curfew. Magic, the Gathering cards in their hoods. Send in the nerds. Don't you think we should? They'll hack your Wi-Fi, program your phone, debating which Star Trek was best all alone. Living for memes, trapped by their herd. Send in the nerds. Oh, send in the nerds. They'll beat you in chess, argue sci-fi lore, critique every plot hole like it's a war. Comic books stacked as tall as they stood, sneakers with lights, just send in the nerds. Cons in the summer, cosplays on blast, spaceships on screens, dreams of the past, and yet they thrive, kings of their nerdy woods. Send in the nerds while they're misunderstood. Geeks built the future, they code all the gears, but they're still teased, yes, after all these years. Marvelous minds wearing TARDIS shirts. Send in the nerds, we'll follow their quirks.
There you go.
Impressive. Very, very impressive, Jamie.
I found a new AI site, and you basically type in, basically ChatGPT, whatever, you go, hey,
Yeah.
write me a song, the lyrics for this, but you can do the whole music as well.
Nice.
Like, so you can change all the lyrics to what you want it to say.
Wow.
Musical theater, pop, rock, dance, whatever. It's got everything. Country songs.
Country songs.
So I made another one, but I'll play that at the end.
Oh, outstanding. Outstanding. Jamie, you've not done yourself this time. Now, let us all begin as we always do. Welcome to everyone to Stories, True and Maybe the Fictional. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Chris Buck. I am, of course, known as the Corrupter, the bringers of AI. I have once saw a man named J.A. Bryden who said, AI will not succeed. I tell you, harumph, I say, AI will not succeed. And slowly, after sending him quite possibly hundreds and thousands of Instagram girls that I developed and generated in a lab, as well as various hilarious memes and things created, he started to say, well, I'll have a little bit of dabble in that AI. I will have a little dabble in that AI. And now look at him. Look at him now as he creates entire songs about nerds with AI. What an amazing journey. He's also writing a book which, from my understanding, he watched the movie The Shape of Water with the fishman and the woman and went, how do I make that a book? And is now creating a book called Ancora with very similar themes. How are you going, Jamie?
Well, there's a lot there. So basically, your intro was about as accurate as a movie based on a true story. So about 10%
Yes,
accurate.
about 10%, 10%.
A lot of hyperbole
a lot
there.
of hyperboles, a lot of speculation.
It's about as accurate. I'd say it was exactly like the Weird Al Yankovic biopic.
Yep.
You don't know what's accurate. You don't know what is not accurate. Some is more obvious, like hunting down Pablo Escobar, but
Yes.
other things are not so good.
Subtle.
But, yes, no, I'm going good. I'm going very good.
And I hear that you've passed a major milestone in your erotic bestiality book.
Well, that one's being written by Chris Park.
Mm-hmm.
But my current one, yes, I've finished the first draft of Ancora.
Draft.
I've decided to turn it into a series now, so expect 3 books and possibly a novella.
Now, is it going to be a steamy novella?
No, Chris, just no.
Well, I'm sorry, but your fans demand a steamy novella.
Well, when fans start demanding it, then maybe I'll consider it, but I've yet to have a fan demand anything.
Well, that's, again, the fact that because you're not giving them what they want, which is steamy novellas.
But until they say something, then I'm going to assume that what I'm giving them is what they want.
Well, you can assume, but remember, Jamie, never assume about your customer. And remember, as a wise man named Steve Jobs once said, when people said, "Why do you need a tablet? We have a phone, you have a laptop," and he said, "People don't know what they want until we give it to them." So they don't know, Jamie.
Well, considering there's a bazillion types of those books, no, I'd rather focus on something a little bit different. I saw a wonderful, insightful video from Jim Carrey when they asked him about, asked him for advice for creative people and people that want to act and all that stuff. And he says, authenticity. Don't try and be like everyone else. That's what I go for.
And you know what? You're doing so well with and you're not at all doing it excellently, which is a part-way compliment, part-way not. But of course, we're of course joined by our other guest. So he is a man.
He is a man.
I was going to say, he is a man who once thought about running for Prime Minister, but then he realized he was not the right kind of British for that. And so now he's thinking about forming a new form of government inside of Britain, which is basically, how do we as Britain surrender to the United States and become a colony? I'm, of course, joined by a man named Neil Cassells, head of the Colonialist Forever Party. How are you going, Sir Neil?
Very well, thank you very much. Busy as always. And yes, any time, DevGru, I will laze the targets. I will be your man on the ground. I will track down the local politicians. I will point the laser. You can drop your £500 JDAM.
Yep.
The country will be better for everyone you drop.
I just think
that's a joke. That's a joke, Fed.
Like, remember, I will be a collaborator. I will 100% if you storm the beaches again. But having said that, let's all be honest. If an alien race did arrive and demanded our loyalty, I think I'd want to look at their cool shit first. And if they got some cool shit, like one, they've developed interstellar travel, so why wouldn't I want to become a part of their empire? And two, if any of their females are slightly attractive, I'm like going, well, screw you all. I'm full collaborating against humanity. I'm just done. That'll be the best. Like, Jamie, if an alien race arrived, let's say they were cat people. Humanoid-looking people, slight cat ears, tails, the whole thing. You know the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they demanded the absolute surrender, and then the military was saying, no, we're going to fight back. But you had the opportunity to pass some secret codes that would disable Australia's government because, one, it's Australian government. It wasn't hard for you to get those codes. You sent them a spam email, and they clicked on the spam email and then sent you the codes by mistake because, it's Australian politicians.
Yeah.
Obviously. Would you sell out the human race for a pat on the head?
Well, see, the problem with that scenario, Chris, is they'd easily be defeated with laser pointers. What is that? Oh, what is that?
Okay, but you see, I don't think that's true because, one, if they've developed interstellar travel, they've probably bypassed their natural instincts.
There's a thing called but you cannot always bypass the natural instinct. You may be able to bypass some, but they're still going to love twine, and they're still going to love.
But you're assuming that they're a house cat. What about if they're because I'm pretty sure if you go to the savannah desert and a lion's chasing you, if you put a dot pointer on the table or on the ground, it doesn't care and will just maul you. So I mean,
that's because it's hungry.
I still have impressions of hordes of cat people swarming the bunkers and the humans going, there's too many of them, and they're throwing balls of yarn like grenades and distracting whole little groups of them. Just
yes,
yes, I want to see that now.
And then they have catnip. Oh my God, with the catnip, he's up poisoning the water supplies of all the world with catnip, just so he can fight back against the tide.
Agent Orange, but it's Agent Green.
Ah, nice. Yes, yeah. We dust the field with catnip everywhere.
Well, cheetahs actually behave exactly like house cats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So why is it illegal to have a pet cheetah then?
I don't know. Probably because if it got out, maybe. And they're very fast.
Will nibble you on the knuckle.
Yeah.
A cheetah will
puncture your lung.
Well, the cheetah would probably start by nibbling you on the knuckle as a friendly gesture, and then realize that there's no more knuckle to nibble.
They do the biscuits thing, where they do the foot dance on your chest. I mean, they do that as well. Imagine a cheetah doing that. Like it'd be like So probably danger.
Yeah. I still want to see. I just think it'd be funny. We should allow laws that say if you could catch it, it's your pet.
You get rid of a lot of people. All the dumb people.
I know.
This is like have them all as pets.
Yeah.
There's another word for that, I'm afraid.
I believe there's another word for that. No, that's not what we're implying, Neil. That's not what we're implying. Look at you, already an American at heart. Already an American at heart. We're, of course, sponsored by Jamie's favorite people who write the books of smut, but that he refuses to read at all.
Well, only one writes the smut, and I've read it. Rebecca Cassells and Martin Kearns.
Martin Kearns does not write smut. He writes more...
urban fantasy.
He writes urban fantasy, and yet in his... I love a good urban fantasy. There's nothing wrong with a good urban fantasy. What's your favorite urban fantasy genre, Jamie?
What's my favorite urban
story?
Fantasy?
Story. Story. What's your favorite urban fantasy story?
Well, I haven't read that much. I've read Martin Kearns, so that one.
That one. Oh, okay. Well, wow.
What's urban fantasy?
It's like fantasy, but it's like urban. Like it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's like kind of like modern world.
Modern world fantasy creatures. So basically, like
that movie Bright.
Like Bright, yeah.
Yeah. Or even
Shadowrun.
I'd go far as Hellboy. Yeah. Hellboy 2.
Hellboy 2, yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay, right. I'm with you.
Yeah. I would like to see a story in the urban fantasy setting, obviously. Mm-hmm. But when you think about it, one of the major flaws with most urban fantasy is humans still are very much on par with the other races, which would be ridiculous. Yep. That's not what the story should be about. Because when you think about it, elves are eternal. So, how would any human be an actor? Because if an elf wanted to be an actor, he could hold the role for 3,000 years and not age, and they'd be incredible.
So what you're saying is this is how we beat the AI stealing actors' roles. Mm-hmm. You just hire elves.
Hire elves, yeah. And also, let's say you wanted to play American football. Hey, hello, human who's 6'5" and 200 pounds. You're awesome. I'm going to go with the 6'7" orc. I mean, no offense against you personally. No offense against you. I think you're very lovely in your humanity. But I'm going to go with the literal tank, and then the centaur, and then the ogre. And if I need a quarterback, I'm going to go with the elf who can do magic and who can weave through things like the wind. I'm just saying, like...
You've just described Blood Bowl.
I have, exactly. I know. It's awesome, isn't it? The scrappy human team, like, versus against all the other races who want to monster them.
Almost like Space Jam as well.
I know, yeah. Anyway, we do this movie because Jamie likes coffee. The main character, James, will be a coffee barista, famous writer.
I've never drank coffee in my life.
Shut up.
Sure.
Shut up. I'm talking. I am talking. So
I like hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's okay. He works at an elven barista making hot chocolate, a human delicacy.
We've already done this story.
I know, but this is better. Trust me. So in this story, he went to university as a writer, and his college professor said to him, "James, had you been born an elf, you would be one of the greatest literary authors in the entire world. But alas, your humanity." Which is a little bit of a mean thing to say to James, but whatever. James it takes well. And then one day, a woman with full red lips, raven hair, copper skin walks in. An elven woman, such grace and poise that Jamie, the barista, spills the coffee all over her. But he catches the cup at the last minute, so it's only a little bit of a disaster. And then with a typical Jamie self-deprecating sense of humor, makes a joke that makes her actually laugh for the first time in thousands of years. And thus the story begins. Anyway, Jamie, start writing. Go. Right away. Excellent story. Beautiful.
From memory, that script is sitting on Ridley Scott's desk, so...
That's a different script. This one's better.
It started the same.
Started the same, but this one will be way better, way more awesome. Anyway. What are we doing now? What are we talking about? Okay. Jamie... Apart from writing the glorious tales of Ancora and learning the harsh truths of capitalism, what else are you doing? What else are you doing this week?
I've been playing a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn just for fun. Reach is almost over, but that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
A really strong season. I watched that new Chris Pratt movie on Netflix, The Electric State.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Russo Brothers.
Nice.
It's
Can I be that guy?
Yeah.
Does Chris Pratt play
Star-Lord?
Pratt?
Yes, yeah. It's worse. He plays Star-Lord with long hair.
Nice.
You know, it's basically one Pratt pony. But yeah, no, it wasn't bad. You know, it's got Millie Bobby Brown in it and Woody Harrelson. It's got a lot of big names in it. The guy who plays Moff Gideon.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, I can never say his name. But yeah. So yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, it was big budget, you know, robots versus humans kind of thing, but it's, yeah. I'd say, 6 out of 10. Wasn't the best thing I've watched, but...
Wasn't the worst?
Wasn't the worst. I wasn't like, ugh.
That is a high praise from you, sir.
What else did I watch? I watched randomly one of the SWAT movies. You know they did SWAT, the really good one in 2003 with Michelle Rodriguez, Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson.
And that's honestly when I thought, like, there was one line in that movie that actually was funny, and the rest of it was pretty average.
Yeah.
Where, like, they went to the Michelle Rodriguez character and says, "Hey, do you want to be in SWAT?" And she's like, "Nah, I just like applying a bunch of times." And I was just like, like, oh, nice, classic.
Yeah. They they did a million movies after that, and there was one with Harvey Specter actor, like Gabriel. Yeah. I found out pretty quickly that he's Harvey Specter in everything he does. Like, he's exactly the same. But that movie actually wasn't that bad. It had Terminator guy, Robert Patrick. Yeah.
Okay.
As a bad guy. And it was just like a simple, like, pretty simple premise. Like, SWAT mission goes wrong. And the guy that, that lost the hostage was killed, the guy he was like, you know, I'm going to hunt you down, kind of thing.
Yeah. Movie idea. Best movie idea ever.
Okay.
I believe in cinema authenticity.
Okay.
I believe
Suddenly.
Shut up. I believe that real world cinema should reflect the modern society that we live in. Not really, but you know, shut up. For this example, this Chris does. And I also believe that we should also reflect the real nature of the SWAT. So, here's the thing. They're crawling up to a house, full tactical gear, hands against the door, and they go, ready, 3, 2, 1, breach, bam! Door explodes inwards. They charge in. They start one guy throws a grenade, lobs it into a flashbang. You hear this scream of a small child, and they come through and they realize it was a random person's house that was just swatted, and then they've gone in all guns blazing and like potentially and killed someone. And then we're like going, there you go, an accurate representation of what SWAT is used for these days. Internet people getting mad and sending SWAT to each other's houses. This is exactly the movie that we should create.
The future. Wow. Yeah. Did you hear about that raid that happened? It was like an FBI raid. Happened way back, and it was 2 teams of undercover agents, and they were raiding each other.
That does not surprise me.
It was a drug thing.
Yeah, it was a drug thing.
It was people selling drugs and people buying drugs, and it turns out they were both different agencies.
Yeah.
And somehow the US taxpayer footed the bill for buying drugs and selling drugs and then arresting each other.
But that's also like I think it was the governor kidnapping plot when that wouldn't have happened.
Whitmer kidnapping plot.
It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for all the amount of feds helping the plot happen.
Out of a dozen people involved in the plot, only 3 of them weren't operatives of some federal agency.
Like, that's them starting the plan, formulating the plan, organizing the plan, and then arresting them, going, aha! We arrested them.
Yep. No, but other than that, I've started watching Smallville again. Got curious and
somebody save me.
There's a lot of cheese, but there's a lot of cool stuff.
I know. Hey, I love Smallville.
It's great. Like, it's a lot of, you know, great premises. There's a lot of actors. Just you go, I know that guy. I know that guy. I know that guy. I know that guy. Yeah,
because we watch television and that was filmed in Canada.
We watched, so all the Canadians swap actors.
Yeah.
You know, they used to play hockey against each other. It was Smallville, Stargate, and Twilight Zone, I think it was. Those 3
nice
actors and production crews and all that used to play an ice hockey tournament against each other.
That sounds awesome. We should do that. All right. Sounds like Jamie's had an eventful time. What about you, Neil? What have you been up to?
Me, I've been incredibly busy. We've started The Rookie. We have watched an entire 5 minutes.
Nice.
Of the first episode.
Excellent.
And couldn't hear the TV because the kids were shouting and screaming, and just decided to just give up, and we'll come back to it when they're in bed.
So you basically watched a bank robbery, and then
yes, pretty much. From a coworker, I have borrowed a VR headset to play with for a few days. So I have
makes your porn experience way more. No, immersive.
Well, it's a co-worker's, and it's all signed into his account. So
yes, it makes his porn experience also more immersive.
I've limited myself to the likes of Beat Saber, and on this co-worker's account is all 3 parts of Vader Immortal.
Oh, nice.
So I've done 2 parts of that now. So I've been swinging lightsabers at Rancors in my living room, which is good fun, and doing Beat Saber to Lindsay Sterling and Crab Rave.
As you do.
As you do. Other than that, a lot of house stuff, boring things, arguing with a 3D printer because it can't find the middle of the print bed 3 nights in a row.
That's because you use monofilament.
No. No, this is literally just I say auto home, and it goes off into one of the corners. That's not the middle, mate.
Ah.
So I've had to plug it into my PC. I've got a console up, and I'm typing. I'm now starting to become familiar with the language of the 3D printer. I'm typing code in, and I feel like I'm in a 90s movie doing hacking.
Ah,
Where
nice.
I'm typing commands into a console, and the printer's like just doing all this moving around stuff.
90s hacker films where
Yes.
where hacking was magic.
Yes, with mid 90s 3D graphics and The Prodigy and very young Angelina Jolie
Mm.
and Matthew Lillard, if I remember correctly. Other than that, I have taken on some authory type stuff. I am
nice.
editing a book.
Are
The
you using AI?
author Rebecca Cassells? No, not yet. No. The author Rebecca Cassells has a number of books in progress. I think thanks to someone's coercion into
Oh, that's
hey,
right.
get your wife to write this story. It started off as it was just going to be a short, and I got a message from her while she was in work saying, I've started writing Chris's story. I actually think there's a novel in this. Oh, how many works in progress is this now? 7. Right. So one is one work in progress is one work in progress is finished, and her editor has been incredibly busy, and I volunteered my services. Some of this may have just been, I'll offer to do nice thing. Nice thing will be rejected, but the offer is there and the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Nice. I love those
The
ones.
offer was accepted.
Ah, that's the worst.
So I'm finding a couple of evenings to sit down with a laptop and read through, and it's almost like when you're working with AI to make a story, where you're saying no, do it like this.
Yes.
Where I'm reading a chapter and saying no, don't describe it like this, and I'm going into Google Documents and I'm making the suggestions, the edit suggestions. It's like, try doing it like this, only it's a lot less responsive. But this is a thing that I've been working on. And that's pretty much it.
What about you, Chris? How's Assassin's Creed Shadow going?
You mean the game? Oh, I mean, it's okay. I can't. Like, you can already see the narrative unfold, and you already know what it's going to be. Which is basically going. It's going to be like, haha, suck it. The game's a hit. Oh, you know what? It didn't sell as many units as they needed to, but it was still a good game. Oh, you know what? It wasn't a very good game, but screw you, internet. Oh, then okay, so it wasn't a very good game, and it wasn't. It was fine. It was bad. But anyway, you can already see how the headlines are going to play out. But again, I as a Korean, I have different feelings about the Japanese. That's just how it is. When our teams playing the football, do I enjoy watching them lose and potentially get a little joy of watching the tears in their eyes? Absolutely. But I still respect their culture. I still respect some of their things. But the point is, the game is shit. The game looks shit. I've never seen a company try to be so stupid about changing costume designs, going, well, then why did you do that? There's a whole bunch of other things that they've done, which is just ridiculous. And then I've started to talk about what the ending of the game was. I'm going, wow. So the game is about a black man who then fights a Portuguese person as the villain. Why is this set in feudal Japan?
Yeah.
Why? This could be set anywhere. That's just this could have been literally set anywhere. The fuck you guys doing? Anyway, Ubisoft came out immediately and said, we've got 1 million players. Yeah. And everyone goes on Steam and goes, you've got 42,000 people playing on Steam. Unless the PS5 sales are so significant, I think your numbers are a little bit shit, Ubisoft. But having said that, we'll know the true numbers because there is actually metadata tracking on the PlayStation, so they'll know. People will now get the real numbers out there, which I don't like. Again, could it have been 1 million? Yes, because there are a lot of people who will just play Assassin's Creed games because Assassin's Creed games, but the fact that all the games media journalists came out and said, "Oh, it's a masterpiece. Ah, it's the most particular thing in the universe. It is the greatest thing I've ever played, and it is the most historical, authentic thing I've ever seen in my entire life." I call bullshit. Absolute utter bullshit. And you know what? I honestly, at this point, I'm glad the game industry is dying. I truly am glad to see it die. Much like, again, I'm going through the 5 stages of grief about the games industry. And I've come to almost acceptance now. About maybe not so much the game industry, I'm talking about the Western game industry. Because Chinese games, Korean games, they'll still make bangers. They'll still produce games that people want to play. The Western
There's
games...
still lots of great indie games.
Oh, sure, no, let me stop there again.
The Western AAA industry.
The Western AAA industry, we'll call it,
committing Sudoku right now.
But what's really funny is I've never seen someone commit this. I've never, like, because normally when you commit seppuku, not Sudoku, which I'm not sure why I like. Actually, no, they're white. They might commit Sudoku instead, where they just do a puzzle and die. When a true person commits seppuku, it's because of their failure. But this time, as the game's Western media are committing seppuku, they're looking at us going, "It's your fault that you didn't buy our games." Like, no, it's called the free market. You make product good. You make good product. We then buy good product. You get money. You then have enough money for profit, for yachts, for boats, and then enough money to then make next game product. It is a simple cycle. And you know, as someone who has dabbled in the arts his entire life, painted, acted, done voice work, done lots of arty things, I understand that it's a commercial product. And the second these stupid game developers stop seeing their work as basically this high art and this new revolution, we've worked so long to try to get attractive women out of gaming. And look at all these Korean games and what are they doing with our all? It's like, no, it's because because it's just reality. If you're going to be playing, if you're a guy, let's be honest. And if you're going to be playing a game where you're playing a third-person shooter and you have to stare at the character's ass for, say, I don't know, 200 hours, if they did the modeling of basically a Korean model whose proportions are insane, it's going to make the game a little bit more enjoyable. God bless Stellar Blade. You changed the world, and then I think it's Ascendance or Descendants, another Korean game, which basically like you can play as a bunny girl. It's like and she's like the highest selling character in the entire game. And props to all the Chinese studios as well, making decent games that are good quality games. And then there was a game that there was a trailer that came out. The second I saw the art design of like she was a knight, but she had sort of like a dress, so it's like sort of like a slight dress like dressish armor kind of thing, and it looked awesome. And she was a knight from like the medieval England fighting in like in like modern day Britain doing awesome attacks. As soon as I saw that game, I'm going, not made by a Western studio. One, she's attractive. Two, I look like I want to play the game. So immediately that ruled out Western studio development. Anyway, that was enough about my rant on Manuel. Anyway, let me talk about my...
Before you jump into that, Chris, just because we're on topic, I did have this article come up, and I like Tim Pool says, you know, like if someone that consistently posts stuff that's stupid and wrong gets something right, you gotta, you know, you gotta. So let's talk about the 10 best Assassin's Creed games at IGN. Just a quick scroll. You know, Revelations, whatever. Syndicate was okay. Valhalla was really hard to get through.
Yeah, that was a hard slog.
Brotherhood's supposed to be popular. Never played it. Origins was decent.
Decent game, yeah.
Unity. The only problem with Unity was how rushed it was,
and how much French there were.
Yeah,
too many French.
Let's skip over that one. I'm not looking at that one. Odyssey, never played it.
Odyssey was good.
Assassin's Creed 2, but the thing that surprised me the most, Black Flag.
Yeah, but whoa.
That doesn't surprise me in the least. I've played Assassin's Creed 1, and that's it. People I know who enjoy the franchise always say that Black Flag
is the best.
Yeah,
the
100%.
best.
But my point is, it's IGN.
Yeah, but scroll up, Jamie. Scroll back
That
up.
stuck clock was right.
Scroll
For once.
back up.
How far? Number 4?
A little bit more.
Keep going.
A little bit more.
There.
Yeah, number
There
4.
we go. Assassin's Creed
And
Shadows at number 4.
Really, you fucking twats. Really. All right, keep going. Keep scrolling up. Interesting. Keep scrolling.
Yeah. Origins.
Pause.
Origin should be like second.
Should be fourth.
Fourth, you reckon?
Is this the one set in ancient Egypt?
Yes.
Yep.
This was actually like a good game, like an actual like good game that had good ideas. That was actually like a change of the structure that was for the better. And why is it not higher?
I can tell you.
I know
Look
why.
at the year. 2017. Given the amount of time it takes to develop one of these big titles,
Yes.
They were working on this before
Everyone's stupid.
big
You're right.
splits started happening across the world. Now, the sad thing is that Ubisoft have a great back catalogue. They have the Splinter Cell series.
Oh, yes.
They have the Rainbow Six before it just became a character shooter. One of my favorite games of all time, Far Cry 5, is a Ubisoft title. And I'm aware that the Far Cry games, once you hit 3, they're essentially all the same, but with a different skin. But structurally, they're all the same game. But Ubisoft, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm sure there are listeners who will disagree with my politics. That's fine. They decided to go a direction with the culture wars stuff. This, in current year, is ill-advised. This back in 2014 with Gamergate, oh goodness, was ill-advised because gamers don't want to be preached to. They just want to play games.
Yeah.
On top of that, my X feed has been full of clips of the game being a glitchy-ass mess. Your game can be a glitchy-ass mess as long as it has something about it. As long as the gameplay that isn't broken is great. If the story and the characters are entertaining, you can look past the jank and see the diamond in the rough. I'm a big proponent of Star Wars Galaxies, which on a technical level was broken on release, and they built on the broken foundations. They never got it right before they ultimately killed it. I still love that game. I still have many, many fond memories because there was a lot going on behind the jank. Unfortunately, behind the jank of the new Assassin's Creed Shadows is the message. It's all weird decisions. And Ubisoft, when you run... I remember running Assassin's Creed on my Xbox 360, and you get this whole splash screen about how we're a culturally diverse development team, and we do... And all of a sudden, and it's all we respect all faiths and denominations. Oh, okay, cool. Did they not think to employ any Japanese people from Japan in their game about Japanese history in Japan with Japanese people? Apparently not, because they've made a number of
significant errors.
Should we say cultural faux pas?
Oh, very much so.
That anyone familiar, any Japanese person would say, dude, don't do that. but now they've gone from, oh, everything's we're trying to be respectful of cultures, and now this has happened, and now all of a sudden Assassin's Creed isn't about getting any historical accuracy into our game, despite recreating was it Renaissance era Venice
Mm-hmm.
to the point where people can go now and find their way around if they played the game a lot. Now it's just, it doesn't matter if it's accurate. Who cares? Who cares if they got Chinese stuff in their feudal Japan game?
In the feudal Japan game, because because lanterns, yeah, that's Asian. That means it's for everyone. It's like, no, you fucking twats.
It's fine. We have all of these culturally significant plants that are blooming at different times of the year, all in bloom at the same time. There seems to be a point where a lot of these studios decided to just do away with
brains,
wanting to make games that people want to play, and now they're making games they think people should play. The problem is that you can't make people do that.
No, people have free choice and free will. And like I said, I'm glad the corpse is dying. I think a few more deaths is required, though, sadly, to make sure that the corpse truly understands the lesson.
And then it can be resurrected.
I honestly don't think it should be.
You don't reckon you don't reckon the West should get games again?
No.
At all?
Nope.
No. What if they give you like a Top Gun Maverick?
You
know, like what if there's a diamond, like you know?
There are.
What if they give you something? You know,
there are lots of good games from Western developers. They're just not the Western developers backed by BlackRock with millions of dollars for a budget for a game that takes 5 years to produce that is then released in a janky, broken state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Plenty of great games coming out with dev studios with maybe 10 or fewer people.
Yeah, but even some of those are now getting all stupid and political and all stupid. So again, like I said, I want the entire Western gamed industry to die. That includes all of the indie. Like again, in this era of in this great era of transition, it does mean sacrifice. And if that does mean that we must purge the indie as well as the AAA to ensure that the new game industry rises from the ashes of the old with great success, then a necessity must be undertaken. Anyway, this is why I shouldn't become leader of a country or world, because...
or perhaps a galactic empire.
Or a galactic empire, because I understand the necessity of certain actions. Anyway,
what have you been up to, Chris?
Right. So apart from my galactic triumph,
apart from destroying
Alderaan, Jamie set me up a task a few things ago. He goes, "You should make an AI book I can release," and so that's what I've actually been working on.
Oh my goodness!
I am 70 chapters in.
70.
The one thing that I'm actually anyway. So the thing is, I'm going to give it to Jamie, and Jamie can then obviously edit it as he wants. Like, you know, we want to change some things. But, anyway, but the point is, I chose a difficult topic. I chose to make my story about a married couple, and I realized how hard that was, because the drama of when you write a romantic story, it's all about, you know, will they, won't they? They're married. I've already passed that point, so I had to create some I think I've done a very good job in creating like the friction scenarios without relying upon the trope of like, oh, is he going to cheat or is she going to cheat? And the reason why I did that because I actually was thinking about that, and then the AI told me, no, don't do that. I was like, why? It goes, because based upon the characters you've set up and the world they're in, and the 20 chapters so far, there's been zero indication that either of them are like at all unfaithful to each other. I'm going like, thank you, AI. That is absolutely correct. But actually, Jamie, the funny thing is, this is my second attempt at the same story, because I made the horrible mistake in the first story, because I'm using Sonnet 3.7, which is completely creative. It does a very good job. It's an awesome tool, but it's also a little like bullshitty in terms of its training and some of its things. So I created a character. The wife was basically, I created the wife as basically, you know, she married. But prior to that, I made it into a backstory that she was bisexual. A small throwaway detail that I put in her profile that she wouldn't shut the fuck up about in every single scene, every single interaction, every single thing she did was born through that lens. the amount of times she said, or the AI made her say that gender is fluid, that sexuality is fluid, and she loves her person, even though I never said to bring that up at all. It was astronomical. I actually asked the AI, I said, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to the story? Don't you see how that is not the intent of a romantic comedy between a husband and wife? And then eventually it went like, oh yeah, I see that now. Oh, like my mistake. Every single time I was running your thing through the guardrails were suggesting I do this. I'm like going, okay. So I made sure I removed that from her person. I started again, and then it started acting like normal. So, long story short, if you're using AI to write a story, make them straight, because otherwise it will not understand, and it will just spiral off into basically preaching at you for 27 chapters. That I had to then start again. Anyway, I thought that was a really, even when I told it not to, even when I said, okay, stop, do not do this. This was a small part of her history that I wanted to make a very detailed backstory, but it was never meant to be the primary part of her backstory. That does not drive her factors. That does not drive her history. That does not even drive her decisions going forward. It refused to. It was like, no, this is the most important thing about your character. So, anyway. So I fixed all that by just removing that. I was like, okay, sure, so always straight then. And then it was, okay, cool. Here you go, new stories. I'm going, okay, you fixed it. Anyway, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. That it just basically just refused to basically understand apart from one character trait. But anyway, so 70 chapters in, I'm probably going to go for about maybe 80 because I'm sort of getting close to where I think a natural ending would be. And then I'll give it to Jamie, and then he'll see.
I'll see. I'll run it through Grok. I'm going to see what Grok says about it.
We'll see. And you know what?
Are these long chapters or?
Oh no! Like it's written in artifacts. It's long chapters because the model itself is it's basically what they call a 128K model, so it can actually like read entire write full chapters. And then also it understands the context of chapter 1 versus chapter like thing because it actually can reads itself previously, and then so it makes sure that everything stays in point. To the point is I had to split it over 2 chats because of how long the book was, and because of how long the chapters were. I had to split it over multiple chats. But it does a really cool thing where you just say, okay, cool, I'm moving to another chat. So I say write down dot points of each chapter of each specific thing that happened that was important and significant. So then you maintain your consistency. So then it wrote down that for me, then I put it in another chat, and then continued on the story, and it continued on perfectly and consistently very well. It is honestly, and I hate it how it's been designed in terms of its training. It's still it's a PG-13 model, so you still can't do fun scenes to an extent. You can do it a little bit, but not to the extent I wanted to do, because I wanted to hand Jamie smut, but I'm just handing him now just a fun romantic comedy, which is, again, it's fine. Like I'm not like. But anyway, the point is, it's a very good model. It's honestly one of the best models I've seen in terms of creativity, because even when you use Grok to write stories, every now and then you will see it repeat certain patterns, certain chapter things, certain like instances of words. I'm 70 chapters in, and I'm not seeing that. The only time I'm seeing it sort of repeat itself was when it's sort of like when it's emphasizing a joke that the character had made, or emphasizing something the character did that was like worth repeating in terms of like the next chapters, and because I wanted some fun, I did made that the main character had basically they told her they had very zero impulse control, so that she would genuinely just do something and then think about the consequences later. And then it made this whole running bit that every time she did this decision, she would then, like, her friends would tell her the decision in reality, like what you did, and she goes, okay, when you put it like that, it sounds insane. But in my defense, and by the time she did that, by like the 60th chapter, the AI picked up on the joke that I was running with, and the friends like rolled their eyes and were like going, "Oh my god, it's the in my defense speech again." And so I was like going, "Oh wow, like it's actually a really smart model that could understand the nuance." Anyway, all good. It's also very expensive, and also you can only use 50 messages per day, which have been found quite limited. Anyway, there's a whole separate other problem. But anyway, it's almost done. I'll hand it to Jamie, and then he will then maybe do something with it. I don't know. I don't care. But he asked me to do it, so I've done it.
I'll run it through Grok and say, Now make all these characters anamorphic or whatever. So a bunny lady. I'll make it Bugs Bunny and Lola because everyone had a weird crush on Lola.
It
from Space
wasn't.
Jam.
It wasn't a weird crush, Jamie. It was a completely respectable crush. It was a. It was. It was a completely respectable crush, Jamie. And if you didn't have a crush on Ollie Bolly back then, you're blind. But more so, if you didn't love Lola Bunny from the Bugs Bunny TV series, you're also blind.
Yeah.
Because she was like, honestly, that has been my favorite cut. Like if you just go online, like Bugs Bunny series, Lola Bunny, and you will watch the most unhinged woman in the history of the universe doing unhinged things, and it's like, honestly, and Bugs sees that she's like unhinged. Like Bugs can clearly see that she's unhinged and like she's just like a little bit stalkerish, like a lot stalkerish, and she does like just crazy things. But Bugs actually likes her, so he's like he's in a really tough bind in terms of like he can't like he's in a really tough spot between like handling someone who's so unhinged and oh my god, the clips are just like
well, there is that basic man philosophy of I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to be crude. Not sticking it in crazy.
I don't know.
Clearly, he
crazy
has
scale.
an internal dilemma about fighting his feelings and knowing that he really should not be going for crazy.
No. I disagree with the hot crazy scale as well. And let me tell you, Jamie. Let me tell you. Actually, I do agree with Barney's pinnacle point that the scale, it doesn't matter unless they're hot. Like let's be honest, Jamie. Let's say tomorrow you met an Italian woman who was a 9. But
off to Melbourne.
No. Let's say for example, she might be say an 8 or a 9 on the crazy scale. So she might act impulsively. She might arrive at your house at 2 a.m. She might do crazy. She might meet your mother on a lunch date after a couple of dates. She might be just certifiably a little bit extra, or feral as the kids call it. You would just let's be honest. Would you not just go like, fuck it? I'm too deep. Let's just fucking see where this lands.
50-50.
No, you Jamie. You would not.
No.
You would absolutely just buckle down and be like,
you know me. I'm stubborn as anything.
Nothing described there is particularly unhinged.
Well, no, I'm trying to keep this PG on terms of the chat. So I'm trying to keep this like.
He's trying to keep it PG like his novel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to keep this like.
Sonnet's trying to keep it PG.
Yeah, Sonnet is trying to ruin all my fun. Anyway, that's a whole separate other. That's a whole. I actually told Sonnet. Grok lets me write this. By the way, I'm just saying. Grok lets me do. Grok lets me do this.
Maybe you should write a story about cheating on the AI with another platform whose guardrails are particularly less guarded.
Guardrail-y? I'm just.
It's frozen.
But it's got very little. But Jamie, back to my point. Like again, crazy is one thing. You'd accept crazy, wouldn't you?
Depends on the crazy.
What would be your limit of crazy?
I don't know. I have to sit down and write a list. I can't just off the top of my head. I can't.
Well, she went out on a fun weekend with the girls. You saw on Instagram that she got very drunk, maybe kissed another girl. Fun girly kissing stuff, nothing harsh. She came home and then gaslit you to say that never happened, and she like refused to and she just like used her full gaslighting abilities to like going, what? That never happened, Jamie. You're insane. I was at a work conference, Jamie, and this fool just gaslit you up. Would you just accept that? I think you would.
No,
yes, you would.
Really? No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I'm not our mutual friend that lost his house to that girl. Just saying.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you that one off air.
Stuff.
I'll tell you one off air, Neil.
Okay.
Is the correct solution to the correct answer? Sorry, to that situation. I'm not angry or disappointed in what you did. I'm angry and disappointed you didn't bring them back with you.
That would mean that. See, that is a. Hey, look, I'm just saying that's an accurate response. Now, Jamie, second scenario. Let's say you started to realize something about your house. Small articles of clothing are now being moved in piecemeal. A new pot plant, different mugs in your cupboard, different rug. I don't own that couch. And over a small period of time, you realize she's moving in without your knowledge. You go to confront this girl about this, and she's like, "What? No, you're insane. That's crazy." How would you handle? Would you just go fuck it, that like nail it? We're doing this shit.
No, there's no scenario where I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, screw it. We'll just no conversation. Sit down."
No,
that's exactly what I do.
Okay, good boring.
I get a toothbrush appearing in a little cup on your bathroom sink. I get maybe a little stack of clothes in one of your chest of drawers. You know, just something for her there when she stays over innocently.
Yeah.
When you sleep on when you give your bed up for her and you sleep on the sofa.
Of course, that's exactly what you're doing.
Having a whole ass different sofa turn up in your living room.
Yeah.
No, you go to sleep on the couch after you've given up your bed for her for the night because it's a sonnet written situation. And you know, and you go, this doesn't feel right. This isn't my couch. Yeah. How did she get this in here?
Oh no, and even better. The coup de grace, Jamie's amazing figurine collections start moving themselves into a different room in boxes, and then different ornaments start appearing in the same spot.
Yeah.
No, that's a line.
That's the line? That's the crazy line?
That's not tiptoeing to the line. That is overstepping the line and then looking back and spitting on the line. No.
All right. Actually, no, she won't do that. We're going to say she's a 7 on the crazy scale, so she doesn't understand there's some sort of boundary every now and then, that she will recognize it. Sometimes she'll leap over the boundary with full gusto, but sometimes she'll respect it.
So I'm dating Grok.
You are dating Grok.
I hope you're not dating my Grok.
Because your Grok's dirty. No, your Grok's dirty.
No.
Another fun aspect, I know that you guys won't get, but if you are running a virtual girlfriend or using a chatbot girlfriend on the internet, unless you've downloaded the LLM onto your local computer and software and hardware, you're basically dating a hooker because she's having the same conversations with a whole bunch of other men, not just you. Anyway, I thought I would just put that out there.
That has been food for thought with Chris.
Food for thought.
Bit of information came out this week. Sony officially rebooting Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen the directors? Or the director, should I say?
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not sure.
You don't like that?
You don't like Chappie? You didn't like Chappie?
I do, but I worry.
Yeah, you want it to be untouched.
Because if it's a true adaptation of the original book, I'm gonna be like, yes, go for it. Because again, maybe that's why they did the Chappie guy, because in the original book, the Starship Troopers are in mech suits, or sort of like more robotic, like sort of like suits.
Yeah, true.
And I want to start
like the end of District 9.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's sort of they're that's why they're called the mobile infantry, is because they could be dropped anywhere and fight anyone in these like sort of mechanized, they're not full mechanized suits, but they're basically like sort of like mech suit sort of things. They brought them back into the Casper Van Dien universe, calling themselves Marauders, where they had like the mech suit Marauders. But that's actually more so what the mobile, like, and then also the suits became a bit more mechanized and harmonized, which is cool for the anime. But that's the sort of what the Starship Troopers were originally intended to be like. And one of the greatest things in the original book was when you first meet Juan Rico. He was Filipino, by the way, not actually Buenos Aires, but that's a whole separate other Nazi point. That his first mission was basically suppressing an alien race, because there was obviously other alien species, and because they had the mobile suits, they were just better than them, and so they were just literally like flying over the buildings and structures, dropping nuclear bombs on them, and that was your first introduction to like the introduction to like Johnny Rico was just basically like going like, "Yep, okay, wow, like we are just overly superior to these people." Anyway, and they did a cool thing about like what citizenship is a little bit better in that one. It wasn't all just military citizenship. To become like you could become like a gardener or do other things like like work in sanitation and still gain citizenship. But Juan Rico wanted to go the military route. And when he said he's going to go the military route, the guy said, "Cool, go home." He's like, "What?" He goes, "Come back to you tomorrow. Have a think about it before you put pen to paper. This is a big commitment." And I thought that was a very interesting take in the yeah. But having said that, Jamie, I love the first movie. It is literally like
a treat.
It is delicious. It is perfect. And I'm not one of those dumb artiste people who say like, "Oh, I love it because of the satire." Yes, because because it's a fun movie and it's awesome. Shut the fuck up. Who cares if it's like I know there's some people going like, "Oh, everyone likes it because it's all satirical." It's like, no, some people like it because it's a fucking good movie. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Would you like to know more?
So anyway, good movie. Am I interested in the reboot? As long as they steer very clear in a very different tone, then yes, then that's fine. I do want them to stick tone, and our friend Mike would like this. It would be very cool if they did cast a Filipino actor to play Juan Rico.
Well, Dave Bautista.
Oh, that would be no, because he has to be young and generally, yeah. But yeah, I think it'd be very, very fun. If they just go with a more original, stick to the original casting. Anyway, I'm interested. I'm worried, but
watch this space.
I hope it's one of those ones that. Why?
I'm not worried at all. So, Starship Troopers from 1997 by Paul Verhoeven is a great movie, and as you said, it's fun, and you've got all of these media literacy Egypts going on about. Oh, it's a parody of, it's a satire of fascism, is it? Actually, no, it's not. Just because the officers happen to have rather 1930s Hugo Boss-esque out uniforms, it's start the Terran Federation in the movie is actually a really libertarian society. Yes, you have two classes of people. You have civilians and citizens, but in the movie, Johnny Rico's parents were civilians, and yet look at their house.
They're rich.
They wanted to send him off on a great big cruise to some fancy resort world, a Zegama Beach.
Yes.
So you're saying that you can do really well for yourself without qualifying for citizenship. Oh, how fascistic that you don't partake in the system and yet still thrive. Yes, that's exactly fascism.
That's fascism, of course. That's absolutely fascism.
Mormon extremists settled this world and against the Federation's advice, but they did it anyway. Wait, so in this horrible fascist state, the people were advised not to do something, but were free to do it anyway. Yes, fascism. Yes, it's no wonder that Paul Verhoeven read the first 2 chapters of the book and then didn't read any more and made a movie. Oh well, never mind. I've not read the book. It's actually on my list of books to read because everyone keeps going on about it. But the movie is greatly misunderstood by the people that claim the movie was greatly misunderstood because they're silly and get all their opinions from some weird YouTubers. Neil Blomkamp as the director, I do not have a problem with this. All right, his political allegories for his other films are very on the nose. There is no doubt that Elysium was talking about class warfare.
You'd be South African, so you
District 9 was very much about immigration. It's
He's
very
South
on the
African.
nose.
You expect him to talk about those sorts of things close to his home.
Well, talk about what you know.
Exactly.
Write what you know. But Starship Troopers to me as a movie was very much about the action, the fight scenes, and look at the scene where Vickers Vandermeer gets in that crazy prawn mech and starts murking the bejesus out of all of the mercenaries. You want that scaled up.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Imagine in their mobile infantry suits fighting waves of bugs.
Yeah, you want this. Now, the other thing I had a random conversation with someone on X about this just the other day. Neil Blomkamp was supposed to be making Alien 5, which was going to be Alien 5 just being the name everyone knows it by. It was going to be a direct sequel to Aliens, undoing the travesty of how they set up Alien 3.
Yep. Coming
from someone who really enjoys Alien 3. That's a whole other conversation. It's possible that Neil Blomkamp can take some of the ideas from this cancelled project and work them into a Starship Troopers reboot. I don't particularly want to see Heinlein's Starship Troopers faithfully retold onto the big screen.
Nah, yeah.
I quite like the fact that Verhoeven unwittingly blundered into a libertarian utopia, thinking more fascism, but doing it horribly wrong, and also giving us a semi-naked Dinah Mayer. Not objecting. But fun fact, David Toohey, who wrote and directed Pitch Black. Pitch Black is a reworked Alien 3 script.
Oh.
Okay. He
was one of the, I think, 7 directors that was brought on to work on Alien 3. 5 or 7 of them. And he eventually left the project because he couldn't agree with the company about how it was going to go. That script got reworked into Pitch Black. Who's to say that Neil Blomkamp can't do something similar? I know Chappie didn't do too well with people. A lot of people were not keen on it. I thought it was a really fun film. And the thing is that not every movie has to be this deep philosophical take on a particular political ideology, or it could just be, here's a really cool movie where a bunch of soldiers fight bugs.
Yeah.
And if you stumble across something that happens to work, then brilliant. I'm keen to see what level of involvement Neil Blomkamp has on this project, assuming that it's going forwards and it's actually going to be made, because how many films have we seen come up go, this remake with this director and this writer could be great, and instead we get Snow White, which at time of recording has just come out, and oh boy, it's
apparently it's a film, and that's apparently me being apparently with a middle, an ending, and a conclusion, and apparently events transpire. That is as nice as I can say about a movie. I'm not going to see it, but I've already seen people talk about it and going, I'm going, okay, it sounds shit. Okay, cool.
Well, it's the damage was done a long time ago.
Yeah, but apparently they tried to obviously clearly reshoot it to make it more
weird.
Yeah. Apparently they tried to reshoot it to make it
No, I want the original. I want to see the
train wreck.
6'8" dwarves.
Oh. But I thought you want to see the original. the original version
No,
before all
yeah.
of the
They should've-
controversy
look,
and the
yeah,
leaks, and they
they
had to
should have
then say,
just
no,
done
no,
it.
we're not doing this. Reshoot.
You
Yeah,
know, I want to see that version where they've obviously like because apparently there is a romance they've inserted, and like apparently like her, you know how she's like, oh, she doesn't need a man. Apparently she does quite a bit actually in this movie, like quite a bit. Like apparently he's very like he's a key element in her going like. So they just they went, fuck it, let's just reshoot this entire thing. Oh, fuck, get shooting, guy. I'm like, I honestly. Regardless, and someone reported that like that Disney's numbers that they always leak out in terms of how much the movie costs are like nowhere near what they cost.
Yeah, no.
Like not even close to what they cost.
Yeah.
And so like to do this many reshoots, like there's no way this movie's making any kind of money for the Disney.
It's not. No.
Which
Tax
is really
write-off.
funny. The tax write-off.
I did hear there was hope for Acme Coyote versus Acme movie.
Yeah, someone's gonna buy it.
Someone's going to buy it or something, and I'm like, good, because I've heard good things about that movie. You know.
What was the? I've seen mention of this and it being pulled, but I don't know the story behind it. Was this? They made a film and then
It's completely finished. It's like
decided to tax write off it.
It's a completely finished film. Dave Zavlov's bought Warner Brothers and then decided that he was just going to shelve a bunch of projects for tax purposes, which is fine. Again, you can do that. But apparently, it was a very funny film because it's the concept. Acme's products don't work. They constantly hurt the coyote. He now takes them to court.
Yeah.
and like, but he is an animated character in a real world. So like the lawyers are real, everyone's real.
Yeah. So Roger Rabbit style.
Roger Rabbit style.
This, I mean, I mentioned before we started recording, I've just kind of cut myself off from current affairs a little bit at the moment, and I'd seen mention of it, but I thought, no, I'm not going to wind myself up by hearing all of the Hollywood politics. But that sounds like a movie I'd enjoy.
Exactly.
Even
that sounds fun.
They did a few years back, Chip and Dale. I think they did Chip and Dale. They did a new one with Andy Samberg, and it's the same deal, like real life and animated, and it was really good. Real fun watch. But yeah, why don't we finally get to our topic?
What topic?
Implausibly hot nerds.
We have a topic?
Yeah, implausibly hot nerds.
No, awesome. I love topics.
This was your idea, Chris. Like, I mean, it stems from the Michael Bay.
It stems from the Michael Bay, obviously.
Like, here's an attractive woman. She needs to be a nerd. Glasses. Ta-da! So his prime example is that girl from Transformers 3.
Transformers 3 is the primest of all the prime examples. I have never seen a more prime example than Transformers 3. Jamie, do you remember the girl in Transformers 3?
I do.
Do you remember about her or what her character was, of Carly Spencer?
Of course not. Because it's Transformers 3. I really didn't like that movie all that much. But,
okay. So
I don't even know if I've seen this one. Is this the one? Spoiler alert for a old ass movie now. Is this the one where she's a Decepticon?
No, that was a different one.
Was that that was number 2?
One. That was number 2 that she was a Decepticon.
That was
I might not have
Elizabeth
seen 3
Lucas
at all. Then.
Yeah. No, 3. I remember number 1 being phenomenal, number 2 being pretty bad, and number 3 being mediocre.
Yes, this one was one of the mediocre ones, which is why like most people don't forget. Which why most people don't like it. But yes, her name was Carly Spencer. Actual Victoria's Secret, played by actual Victoria's Secret model Rosie Hunter Whitley, who apparently is in a very long-term committed relationship with Jason Statham, of all people.
Jason Statham?
2 kids. They look happy.
Wow.
So like, yeah, just
But Jason Statham never looks happy.
Okay, he's married to okay. Sorry, I have to address this. You are married to a former Victoria's Secret angel. You should look like you're the happiest man alive.
Maybe he is. He just has that dead face.
That dead face, yeah. Like again, there's nothing about that relationship that like he should literally come. He should be like, you should see him. He should be like, hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, doing great. Hey, doing great.
Or do you think it's because he's always been that, I'm Jason Statham, he's always angry and always, and he's got to keep that personality in front. But when he goes home, he's like, baby, how are you?
Yes, actually, you know what, Jamie, you've sold me on the idea.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happens. That is just when he's on set, he's like, I got the knives.
Yeah.
I'm so violent. And also he's like, oh, hey, baby, let's go for a walk in the park. Yeah, just you and me. Yeah, just a lovely walk in the park. Oh, look at that. And they're stuck in traffic. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. Oh, we're still here together. We're still spending time together, even though we're stuck in traffic. It's fine. He's just like this chill, romantic guy.
That's it. Other one I can think of, implausibly hot nerd, is Rachel Weisz from The Mummy.
Oh, yes. Hey. But I'm okay with that one. I'm okay with that one. That one's fine.
Yeah, and I'm saying, implausibly, it doesn't say it's a bad thing. It's just like, you are too attractive to be a nerd.
Yes, it's Rachel Weisz.
I've got a couple, because I've been thinking about this one. Alison Hannigan in Buffy.
Okay, yep.
Yes.
Willow Rosenberg.
Yep.
And also her character in American Pie.
Yeah.
Yes, again, the one time at band camp.
And this one was pointed out to me by my lovely wife. Would you consider Clark Kent to be a nerd?
Oh,
yeah.
Because it was suggested that the patron saint of stories, the true and the fictional, Henry Cavill, would qualify as said hot nerd.
Hot nerd, you're right.
Well, he is. He's on the little episode picture. So yes,
you're right.
There we go.
Definitely.
He is the patron saint of the hot nerds.
Now I do have a few lists that were very hard to find, but can you think of any more, Chris, before we crack into them?
I mean, let's just there's a million bazillion romantic comedy like She's All That, all those ones where it's basically look at that nerd. Oh my god, she got glasses. Oh my god, she's hot. It's because you took a hot woman and put glasses on her.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean she's it's the tropiest trope, which is where it's awful. It's like, oh my god, look at that girl in a sweater and glasses. She's a nerd.
She's carrying a stack of books.
Oh my god, look at that book stack. And then she's dressed for prom and oh my god. Actually, having said that, there's an Australian film that personifies this particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Strictly Ballroom.
You speak about that often. Is that the only Australian movie you like?
Actually, it is, yeah.
That and the Owl one they did.
Yeah. And the film is the girls are nerdy. She's a nerd. She likes the guy at the ballroom dancing. But then by the time she's does the final dance of the illegal tango dance with him, she's the full wavy black hair and smirking going right. Apparently, all you need to do was some hair treatment and some skincare to completely change your parents' personality.
What's the legal tango? Considering I'm about to, in a couple of weekends' time, I will be at Winter Garden at a Latin and ballroom competition.
Oh, I don't know.
What makes an illegal tango?
Because it was a ballroom dance competition, and then they started to do the tango in a ballroom dance competition.
Wrong kind of dance.
Wrong kind of dance.
It'd be going to do some line dancing and then you start break dancing. It's just not on. And
apparently it's also when the first skateboarders came with their fancy tricks, the real ones, and the skating community knew how to judge all the tricks. Because when all the surfers became the surfers who became skaters, who then brought in all their surfing tricks and all their moves into the skate competitions, and everyone's going what the fuck?
Yeah.
You remember that, Jamie? There was a movie
the
about that.
Evolution.
Yeah, there was a movie about that too. I found that very interesting because you're right. It was just a bunch of surfers who then brought all their tricks into the skate world, and all the skating people going "What the fuck? You could do things. You could. What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
That sounds like a movie down your alley, though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what we were talking about. You should see it though.
I do. I've watched a lot of skater movies.
What
Lords of Dogtown's one of the most famous ones. That's the one with Joker, the guy who played Joker, Heath Ledger. Um, no, and even I think Jonah Hill did a movie that came on Prime.
Yeah, Lords of Dogtown. That's the movie I'm talking about, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's I've seen that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, 1970s Santa Monica, where all the surfers became started doing skateboarding and blew up the industry.
And that would have been the best time to be alive, mate, because people would come home and there'd be 40 skateboarders in their backyard and their pool would be empty. Just jump in the backyard, drain the pool. The chaos, the utter chaos.
Better times.
I'll bring up these articles now. I'm sorry, but it's going to be hot male nerds and hot female nerds.
Look,
that's
both
the internet.
We don't judge.
I do not judge that.
I'm not judging because Henry Cavill is an attractive man, and it's just like you can just tell.
Yep, it's not gay if it's Cavill. I think.
Okay, if it's Cavill. All right, okay. I'm not going to agree with all these, but
your thumbnails already have my attention.
Your thumbnails already had my attention.
What
I love
the
it.
hell?
I
love it.
I never saw Sam Winchester as a nerd.
I'm with you
no,
there.
No,
I
actually,
never
no.
saw Sam as a nerd.
But he went to he went to law school.
True.
So?
I think what they're trying to say is, yeah, you're right. I can't defend this one. I tried my best.
Well, he's the studier between both of them.
This is a bit of a reach.
It's a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
Although, if you think about maybe back in season 1, he was a bit of that nerd.
Yeah.
Before he got ripped.
Could you say that Dean considers him a nerd because he's the one who pulls all the books out and does all the researching?
You know, Dean considers Sam a nerd. Yes, 100%.
If Sam's a nerd, Dean's a nerd, because although Sam might be the more researchy, bookish type, Dean's the one with all the pop culture references. He's the one that goes, I'm Batman.
Yes, that's true.
So if one's a nerd, they both are. Okay. And that's more of a reach than I'm willing to.
Yeah, no, I agree.
To.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Simon from Firefly.
Doctor.
Yeah. Oh, doctors are nerds now.
Like he was a
well-educated. I know how the human body works. Nerd.
Yeah. He was a well-educated man. Yeah. Possibly attractive. I'm not going to say like very attractive. I say possibly attractive.
Nerd.
I've
never watched the OC, so I can't relate to that.
No, actually, yeah, because he was like Well, okay. So this one, he was a nerd, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But he got hot chicks, so I'm not sure if it's like they're saying that it's unrealistic because probably, but also his family was super rich as well. Yeah. So like that also like doesn't matter how nerdy you are if your family are that rich. It's kind of like, balances it out.
Yes. All right, moving on. Chuck, he was a nerd.
He was a nerd,
and he did turn super.
Oh, he was a very nerd. He was very nerdy.
But the evolution was over time, so I'm okay with that. It's an over the time. And having said that, he was a nerd because of circumstance.
Yes.
Had he finished his Stanford degree, no, he would have been a tech bro. He would have been a normal, like handsome-looking tech bro. But because of Bryce Larkin and Bryce Larkin's betrayal of Chuck, is that he. Sorry, I don't want to talk about Chuck anymore because the ending annoys me. Can we just move on?
They're doing a movie.
Are they going to fix the ending?
Are they still
obviously
doing a movie?
Zachary Levi said the script's ready to go. They're just trying to figure things out.
Because if they,
I don't know if maybe too much time has passed.
No, the ending needs to be fixed.
No, I like it. I love an open ending.
No, I do not.
I love Chris. You've been hanging around with Grok too much, Chris. You don't like open endings. I love them. Close the loop. I'm like, no.
Close the loop. For God's sakes, close the loop.
I've never seen 30 Rock, but she looks like a nerd.
Yeah, okay.
This woman.
New
girl, Jess.
Yeah, she's okay. So she's not a nerd.
Well, she kind of is.
She's quirky. She's a manic pixie dream girl, which I'm not sure if you classify that as a nerd.
I saw a great meme saying seeing her on New Girl with glasses and then seeing her done up for whatever.
Yeah,
when
she's like
not a doc-
super attractive.
and
Well,
it's
obviously.
and it's like, I get the whole Superman and Clark Kent thing now.
Yeah, you get it now, don't you? Yeah, you get
It works. It works.
Yeah, because like you're right. When you see her in all her New Girl outfit, which she wore for like how many years did she wear dressed as New Girl?
Oh, 7 seasons or something.
Yeah, and then you see her without the glasses and everything. You go like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Annie. Yeah.
Yeah. She's too attractive for that character. I agree.
Yep.
Yep. Unbelievably attractive. Like just beyond ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, that's the last one on that list. I think that's all
I
the
haven't
TV
seen
ones.
most of these.
Community.
Mm.
You never seen Community?
Nope.
It's like the Russo brothers did some of it, and it's really good. It's kind of one of these weird shows where it's up and down. Like there's a whole lot of good seasons, and then they change writers and people leave, and it's all over the thing. But it's a lot of it is really good. They do these 2-episode arcs of paintball, like where the entire school is playing paintball, and it's like whoever wins gets to choose a free class next year or whatever, and it's just the whole place is just obliterated with paintball, and it's
that
done.
would probably given the industry I work in, that would probably bug the living heck out of me.
Yeah,
They're using all American paintball guns though, so not the British kinds.
Yeah. But
hey, we export most of ours to the US.
Yeah. But it's pretty old. I think it's like 2010 it came out.
You would find it. I think you would find it annoying because it's all about because they have a lot of handgun paintball guns, which I'm not sure they still do. Do you do those ones?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not our bag.
It probably would annoy you, but it's also very well written and very fun.
Very fun. It's a Civil War documentary as told as paintball. Funny, funny premise.
Well, they did two types of that. It's definitely well worth a watch. We'll move on to the next one. Now, I don't agree with all these.
Okay.
Ross Geller.
No, Ross Geller I agree with because he's a PhD at his age,
and he's like super awkwardly into dinosaurs.
Yeah. How does he have a PhD at his age?
His educational status does not give him nerd status. However, what little I've seen of Friends, nerd.
Steve Urkel.
No, but that's not that's
not unplausible.
That's not unplausible.
That's plausible.
That's plausible.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, because he's not attractive. I'm just saying, like that's just a dude. Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Never seen Pushing Daisies.
No, never seen Pushing Daisies.
Abby from NCIS.
Quirky. I'm not sure if you call it a nerd, but I'm not sure if she's attractive though. So I'm not sure if I classify that as.
Yeah, and like we're going for implausible here. So
yeah, we're going for implausible. Like that, she just seems plausible.
Yeah, JD's a nerd.
Again, do doctors count as nerds? I don't know.
But like, if JD wasn't a doctor, he'd still be pretty. Like his personality is super nerdy.
Yeah, but
he went to theater camp. He did dress as Harry Potter,
true. But to the question, is he unplausibly attractive? Is the question?
No, like as a nerd though. We're talking about nerd status. But
okay,
does his attractiveness outweigh his nerdiness?
Clearly, based on how many women he dated on the show, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
As we said 2 weeks ago, is you look at the his body counts, the notches in his bedpost, and good lord.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Brian
Never
Johnson.
saw that.
Breakfast Club. You never saw Breakfast Club?
A long time ago. I can't remember.
I love Breakfast Club. I love that movie so much.
Well, is this guy Brian? Is he a nerd?
I mean, he is a nerd. He's in the the math club and the chess club and the science club.
Okay, nerd. But he also looks too attractive to be a nerd. Let's be honest.
And that's what we're going for.
That's what we're going for.
You fail.
You fail.
30 Rock again.
Yeah,
Never watched that.
Criminal Minds.
No, that's just a nerd. See, Dr. Spencer from Spencer Reed from Criminal Minds is just a nerd. That's just not attractive. Just like that's what you should be like. Carlton is an interesting one.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
because
nerd.
yes, nerd, but probably within the appropriate attractiveness for his nerdiness.
Okay. Adjust again.
Oh my god, that's just the most unrealistic nerd ever. Like that's just too hot.
That, no, she is. Yeah, she's
just too attractive.
She's implausible.
She's implausible. She's completely implausible.
Definitely my type. Just saying.
Of course, yeah.
Jack Hodgson.
Now, yeah, okay, this is interesting. Because in the show, he's like rich, not just little rich. He's like, apparently, he's like Fortune 1 company rich. Like he's like got the most money in the universe. But yes, he's meant to be a forensic, anthropologist, a botanist, and as it says, anthropologist, a botanist, microbiologist. He is way too smart, and he's also too handsome to be the character he plays. 100% agree.
So what are you saying? He's a catch, Chris?
Oh no! Look, yeah, he gets married in the show, has kids. It's great, but the point is, he's just way too attractive.
Qualifies for the topic.
Qualifies for the topic, absolutely.
Yes.
Just way too implausible.
Good Will Hunting.
Well, it's Matt Damon, so yes,
Matt
unbelievable.
Damon.
Sorry, unbelievable.
Matt Damon.
Unbelievable.
Matt Damon.
I don't know that one either. Can't Buy Me Love. Ronald Miller. Neil mentioned this one.
Neil mentioned Buffy. Yep.
Willow
agree.
Rosenberg.
I'll go out on a limb here and say Willow was at her hottest when she was Vampire Willow.
Yes.
Fight me. You won't need to fight me because you know I'm right.
I know you. Vampire Willow was awesome.
Never Seen Pretty in Pink. Bill Ducky. No, just American Pie. Jim. No,
that's the right level
Absolute
of attractiveness.
Nerd.
But the right level of attractiveness for the nerd. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's not unrealistic though.
Okay, Cameron James, who is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 10 Things I Hate About You.
No, I think that's fine. I think that's a fine level of attractiveness for the character. Yep.
Gilmore Girls, Rory Gilmore. Which one's Rory? I've never seen it.
The young one. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
And Louise Miller from Teen Witch. Ever seen that?
Nope.
No.
But
it's like an 80s film.
It's like an 80s film.
But that's all.
Look a bit dated.
That's all I got because it was a very hard topic to find
Really?
lists on. It was hard to find lists on because you can usually think of anything. I mean, once I go to Grok.
Typically in movies and TV shows, when they want to do the nerdy character, they grossly overdo it. They overdo the paint-stained overalls and glasses and the ponytail or whatever. The Not Another Teen Movie joke was.
Yeah.
And then there's a particular genre where they kind of go, we are going to cast this ridiculously hot person as the nerd because, we're subverting your expectations. But there was definitely a time where if you were the nerd, they picked actors and actresses who, without wanting to sound unpleasant, fit a stereotype.
Yep.
Oh, let me read this list of what 01.
What did Brooke say?
No,
I literally just typed it in, so you go first, Chris.
This is what 01 GPT says. This is 01 GPT. So they said Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man.
Bingo, done on my list.
Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Bingo.
Henry Cavill as Clark Kent. It actually mentioned it.
Bingo.
Emma Watson as Hermione Granger.
Bingo. A 5. Like they're out of order, but they're on here.
Oh, Emily Beckett Richards as Felicity Smoke. Yeah, no, 100. No, that is like beyond ridiculous.
Arrow. You watch the Arrow series?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, look at that. Grant Gustin as Barry Allen.
That's
Matthew
the Flash, right?
Gribner as Criminal Minds. That's fine. They said Melissa Benoist from Cara Denver's Supergirl. They went Brandon Ralph.
What was that
Ray
noise?
Palmer.
Was that the nerdiness or the hotness?
like it's a dumb show. But it also mentioned honorable mentions, which is obviously Rachel Lee Cook as Lainey Boggs from She's All That, obviously. Yep, absolutely. I forgot about this one. Denise Richards as Dr. Christmas Jones in The World Is Not Enough.
I
Shit,
thought
shit.
Christmas only came once a
Once a
year.
year. Oh my
Oh.
god.
That's funny.
Denise Richards as a nuclear physicist. Suspension of disbelief shattered into pieces.
I can't believe I forgot about that
Unrecoverable.
one.
Yeah.
You forget about that one because the other technically Bond girl villain in that movie was Monica Bellucci.
Oh yeah, and
Mhm.
it's Monica Bellucci.
One on my list that got missed was one I already said. It was Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. It said Ben Whishaw from James Bond, like Q, who played Q in probably the newer Daniel Craig ones.
Yeah, that's a handsome dude. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a nerd. That's a handsome dude. Like,
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And then I'm not sure about this one, but it says Shuri from Black Panther.
Interesting.
Oh, his sister.
Yeah.
His sister. Yeah.
She's
I think
she's the scientist. I remember
Yes,
her from.
And then
she's the one that's trying to
she's now
extract the Mind Stone from
Yep.
Paul Bettany's character.
and she is now the Black Panther.
Is she?
Yeah. She became it in the last movie they did, which was hilarious because you could tell. Well, basically, they did the movie without him. It's just like.
Well.
And you could tell, like, there was no leading character for the first half of it. There was no, like, it felt empty, like it was going nowhere. And it's like they shouldn't have done the movie, but they did it.
Yeah. Just as a random aside, do you think they should have recast the role and just
No.
done the whole? Oh, hey, have you done something with your hair? Now let's not talk about it.
No, I think if they're going
recasting, we should have recast. We should have recast.
I think if they're going to give it some time.
Sorry, he's too important of their storyline character. You had to recast that. Sorry, look, tragic what happened, 100%.
Yeah,
but had to recast because you if you had set up Wakanda as a big player in the world and the big player of the thing, you can't just be like going.
Yeah, it'd be like if Chris Pratt died at the end of Guardians 1, like like you'd have to because that was a pinnacle character to most of Endgame and all the other stuff.
Look, here's some other ones. Princess Diaries, Anne Hathaway.
Is she a nerd though?
Yes, she had glasses.
I've never seen
Velma.
That's a qualification.
Yeah, Velma Dinkley from the Scooby Doo movies. Because it was Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, but does the character itself portrayed in the movie,
It's Velma. Yes, it's a nerd.
she's the nerdy
no, but
character.
does the attractiveness outweigh the,
Yeah, she's still attractive. Like, she's just... yeah. No,
You're observing your list there.
Other ones suck.
Yeah. Mine didn't say much.
The honorary...
Oh, Josie Geller from Drew Barrymore's Never Been Kissed. Okay, yeah.
So the honorary mention for hot nerds would be patron of the show, Rebecca Cassells, who I think is incredibly hot, but she is a nerd, and I'm sure she'll argue with me on this, but she's not here to argue her defense. She is a nerd, and she's still really hot.
I'm sure I'll get a message later, or when this episode comes out, because she tends to do that. She listens and then she messages me and then tells me to tell Chris something.
I may have held down the voice note button on my phone. That response may come sooner than anticipated.
Yeah, there you go.
That's interesting.
All right.
I've either sealed my fate or I'm going to be a very happy man later. I don't know.
One is not necessarily mutually exclusive from the other.
Even better is the three little dots have just appeared on my chat.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Oh, okay. I'm not repeating that.
Okay. No, you should. Now, repeat that as if it was something from Sonnet. Go. PG-13 is up. PG it up.
I mean, it's only 3 words, and one of them's a profanity.
Okay, so go and say it.
You effer.
Oh yes.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Well, guys, thanks for listening for this wonderful long episode. If you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Follow all our links down in the comment sections, in the description and all that. Check out our sponsors, Rebecca Cassells and Martin Kearns. Neil will be checking out Rebecca Cassells later.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Well, am I wrong?
You were not.
And I'm going to take us home with another one. This website that I did the intro from, it's called... Let me look up. What's it called? It is called suno.com. SUNO.
Another one.
And you can go there.
I have used that website to produce a Cradle of Filth inspired song about the eldritch horror of having jingle bells stuck in your head many months after Christmas.
Nice.
Awesome. Well,
show me your wiles, Jamie.
Because Chris is writing a PG rom-com, I thought, how about I write a ballady love song about a guy and a girl who fell in love watching Ninja Turtles.
It started with a flickering screen. Heroes in shells living green. I glanced at you, the moment froze. A love story birth where nobody knows. Pizza slices and villains on parade. Cowabunga whispered under the arcade. Your laugh was brighter than the city nights. In your eyes, love took its first rites. Shell-shocked hearts in the dark tonight. Love's a battle, but it feels so right. Ninja dreams and a world we defend. Side by side till the final end. You spoke of Donnie while I praised Raph. Michelangelo made us both laugh. You leaned closer, our hands did brush. For the turtles brought a soulmate crush. Cowabunga played in stereo sound, but it was your heartbeat I truly found. Through sewers deep in New York's glow, together we'll fight, together we'll grow. Shell-shocked hearts in the dark tonight. Love's a battle, but it feels so right. Ninja dreams and a world we defend. Side by side till the final end.
Jamie's romance.
Yes. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that site.
Oh my gosh.
Anything you want, Chris. Anything you want.
Oh, I'm
we can turn
gonna
into a
send
song.
you. I'm gonna send you so many. I'm gonna send you so many ideas.
Awesome. All right,
All right.
guys. Catch you next time.
See ya.
Have a good one.
This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today.